Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us all today. My name is Jonah. I am from Discover and super excited to be talking to Sierra Nicole today. We're going to be talking all about how to lease a vehicle or equipment in your business. And before we get rolling into anything, I just want to take a moment. Please hop in the comments. Let us know if you can see and hear us all right. We want to make sure that all the audio and video is taken care of before we dive in. How you doing, Sierra? Would you give a little wave and a hello so we can make sure the audio and videos working all right?
Yes, I'm doing great. Super excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And for everyone watching today, either the live or the replay, please feel free to hop in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from, maybe how you heard about Sierra or Discover, something you're excited to learn, something you've already learned from Discover or Sierra. We love the comments to be as active and as much of an engagement place as possible. So feel free to use them. Also, if Sierra is moving quick through anything or you have to get up from the computer quick, don't fret. All of this will be available in a replay. It'll be emailed to you along with the course offer. And if you have any questions during the event, feel free to pop them in the comments. If we don't get to them during the presentation, we will take a moment afterwards to make sure we've caught up on all those questions. So if we don't answer them during the presentation, don't take it personally. Please pop them in again. We want to get to all those questions when we can. And it looks like everything's rolling with the audio and video, and everyone can hear and see us. So, give a proper introduction here. Like I said, we are talking to Sierra Nicole today, and she's going to be talking about how to lease a vehicle or equipment in your business. We're going to learn in this live workshop. She's going to teach us the benefits of leasing or financing vehicles or equipment under your business name. A little background on Sierra. Sierra Nicole is an entrepreneur and social media influencer based in Dallas, Texas. She uses her platform to help others start, grow, or find their small businesses. Sierra has assisted over 4,000 students so far in 2021. She is also the co founder of Elite Trade Academy, a vocational trade school in Texas. Without further ado, Sierra, I don't want to take up the whole time here, so I'm going to hand it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jonah.
Of course.
And just a little bit of background so that you guys know, why am I talking about, leasing or financing equipment or vehicles in your business name? And so, like Jonah said, I am a co-founder of Elite Trade Academy. I'm also a small business, educator and influencer. But my background with business started out in the trucking industry. I owned a trucking company with my fiance. And so that's how I learned about, leasing, financing, getting equipment, getting trucks, getting vehicles, things like that in your business name. And I realized the benefits that a lot of business owners are missing out on. Because it's just something that's not talked about often, and they don't realize that it's something that they can do as a business owner. When you look at the tax code and the way that the United States is set up, it's meant to benefit business owners. And so that's just one of the perks of owning a business and being an entrepreneur, which is why I wanted to get on here and talk about that today and let you guys know some of the benefits and some things that you can do in order to really take advantage of that. And so first off, you're probably wondering, well, why would I even want to put a vehicle or a piece of equipment in my business name? Of course, those of you who are watching live or watching the replay, you may be in a couple different industries, but majority of businesses, you're going to need some form of transportation, right? Whether you are a transportation company or even if you're a realtor, if you have a bakery business, it doesn't matter. You typically need some form of transportation. You could be meeting with clients, you could be making deliveries, things like that. So some of the benefits of having a vehicle or a piece of equipment in your business name is, liability. So if you know anything about, personal credit, when you go and you lease and you finance a car or a vehicle in your personal name, they're going to put that loan amount on your personal credit. And so say you want to go and apply for a mortgage or apply for a loan, the lender is going to look at something called a DTI, which is your debt to income ratio. And that car is going to be a part of that and showing as debt that you owe, but it could be equipment, or it could be a vehicle that you use for your business. And so having that in your business name actually lowers your debt to income ratio and allows you more opportunity to get lending for you personally. So say you do want to get a mortgage, or if you do want to go get a home, or a loan in your personal name, that's not going to show on your personal credit. Another great benefit is, of course, lowering that tax liability, right? Business owners, we love talking about lowering that tax liability, because, we don't pay necessarily, usually don't pay taxes right up front like you would as a W-2 employee. You typically have to go through, name all your expenses, name all your income, and then you'll be taxed on the profit. And the thing about owning or leasing a vehicle in your business name is that a vehicle is an expense that you will likely have to pay regardless, right? Most of us have vehicles, most of us, or some type of equipment for your business. It's something that you'll be paying, so you might as well use that to its maximum advantage and leverage that and use that as a tax write-off for your business. Now, I know I mentioned leasing and financing, so I do want to talk a little bit about the differences with that. If you do decide to lease a vehicle in your business name, now I'm not, a CPA or an accountant, so I'm not giving out any tax or financial advice.
Sure.
Yes, the good thing about my course, my program, is I actually have a CPA who comes to speak on the tax portion of it. But just to kind of give you guys just a brief from my experience, is that when you are leasing, you're able to write off the lease payments for that vehicle or that piece of equipment, as well as the insurance. So that can help lower your tax liability. If you are someone who is looking to finance a vehicle versus leasing, because not everyone wants to lease, you are able to write off the depreciation of the vehicle. Or you can also choose to write off either the mileage or the actual expenses. And what that means is the actual expenses would be things like oil changes, or when you have to get new tires, or when you go and get gas for that vehicle, right? So you have a business meeting and you have to get gas to get to the meeting. That is considered a write-off. And so things like that can really be beneficial to a business owner if you are needing some more things to write off on your taxes in order to lower that tax liability a little bit.
Well, and I imagine sorry to interrupt, but I
Mhm.
imagine with vehicles and equipment like that, that write-off is significant. It's not a dinner here or there, right? That can
Yeah.
make a big difference in a year.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Especially if you are a type of business who does do a lot of driving. If you have to meet clients, or if you have to make deliveries, or if you do have a big piece of equipment, it's an expense that you're likely paying for already, and it'll definitely make a huge difference with being able to save a little bit on that tax side, but you're still spending money that you would have spent anyways.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And one other thing that I do want to talk about, is a question that I get often when talking about it is, well, since it's in your business name, it's considered a commercial vehicle now. So insurance, is it high? Commercial insurance is going to be a little bit higher than insurance if the vehicle was in your personal name. But the insurance is also a tax write-off as well. And in my opinion, you know, you have to look at the pros and the cons, right? You get a lot of benefits from doing it under your business name, even if the expense for that insurance might be a little bit higher. But typically, the payments, especially if you're going leasing, the payments might be a little bit lower though as well. So it kind of balances itself out, just depending on the route that you end up going. But like I said, you have to look at the pros and cons and really decide what works best for your business. But that is a question that I do get quite often. Some companies that are a little bit, more business friendly. There's, a lot of car dealerships, a lot of car manufacturers that you can go to, but just the ones that I typically recommend that, typically know the process of doing commercial deals, because not every salesman is going to know how to do a commercial deal because it's not done as often as you would think. Most people go into a car dealership to get a car for themselves personally, not their business. But dealerships like Ford, Mercedes is a really good one as well. Tesla, Chrysler, those are just some companies that are typically a little bit more familiar with the process, but that does not mean you can't go to another dealership in order to get a commercial vehicle for your business. Now, I do want to talk about how, right? So we kind of talked about why, we should, as business owners, get vehicles in our business name. But you're probably wondering, okay, well, how do I even go about this? So there are actually two different routes that you can take. There is the business credit route and the personal credit, personal guarantee, meaning you're co-signing for your business. There's that route as well. So if you are a new business owner, maybe you've been in business for 1 year, 2 years, you don't really have any business credit set up. You are able to do this by utilizing your personal credit as almost like a co-signer for your business. So you'll be able to go into the dealership and say, hey, I want to go and get this Ford truck for my business in my business name, but I don't have any business credit. And what they will do is they will still put the lease or the financed loan in under the actual business, but you're basically using your personal credit as saying, if I default on this loan, they have something to fall back on. So you do have to have good personal credit if you are going to go that route. Now, if you are looking to not involve your personal credit, which is totally fine, it may take a little bit longer, but you will have to build up good business credit. And business credit, what that is, it's credit that is attached to your EIN number, which is your employer identification number. Your EIN is going to be very similar to, like a social security number, but for your business. And so you get that with the IRS. And what you'll do is you'll start building up business credit. And so there's a couple different steps, and I'll go over them briefly so that we don't hold you guys too long. But there's a couple different steps to actually building business credit so that you can go and get a vehicle in your business name without utilizing your personal credit. First off, you want to make sure that you have a very credible business. All right. So it's not enough to just be operating and just to be making money. You have to make sure that you do have a business entity set up. So an LLC, a corporation, you could be set up as an S Corp. You want to be set up properly, right? And then you want to make sure that you do have some type of business address and a business phone number. You want to have a professional business email address. You want to appear like you are a Fortune 500 company. That's what I always tell people, right? You don't want someone to look at you and be, oh, they're, a solopreneur or a small business, right? You want to look like a legitimate business. So you want to make sure you have those things set up. What you also want to do is make sure that your information is listed in the 411 directory. The 411 directory is almost like an online phone book. I don't know if any of you guys remember phone books from back in the day. We haven't seen one in a while.
I remember one.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Used to sit on them so I could eat at the table. That was
Yes, it's been quite a while, but it's kind of like an online version of that for businesses. Lenders will actually look you up in the 411 directory. So a good resource in order to make sure that you're in there is you can actually go to listyourself.net. You can go and list yourself there to make sure that you're in there. But like I said, you want to make sure that you have a professional email, professional business phone number, and an address. You don't really want to use your cell phone number. So what you can do is you can get apps like Ring Central or Smartline by GoDaddy and get an actual business line without having to get a brand new phone so that you can have a separate phone number for your business. For the address component, I typically don't recommend using your home address because you can seem a little bit more high risk to a lender. And so you can actually get a virtual address or a virtual mailbox. But one caveat I do want to give, because it was a very recent change in business credit with lenders, is that traditional virtual addresses or virtual mailboxes have been bringing up some red flags. And so when you are looking for a virtual mailbox or, to have a business address without actually having to have an office, you want to make sure that the address gives you a suite number and not just a mailbox number. You want to make sure that it looks like you have an actual office space, and you want to stay away from PO boxes. PO boxes are a huge red flag, huge no-go for small businesses when you're trying to get approved for anything. So make sure you keep that in mind as well. Now, once you have your business credibility set up, you have your phone number, your address, your email, you're listed in 411. The next step is going to be to make sure that you have a DUNS number. Now, Dun & Bradstreet is one of the largest business credit bureaus. There are a couple others like Equifax Business or Experian Business, but Dun & Bradstreet, as of right now, they are the largest. You want to make sure that you get a DUNS number because that is basically like a profile identification number. So it makes sure that you have a business credit report with them so that once you start building business credit, your trade lines can actually report to your business credit. So you want to go and do that. You'll go to their website, dnb.com. You can get one for free. It is absolutely free. Now, they may call you. It's usually a sales call, but they'll make you feel like you have to pay them money in order to get a DUNS number and build business credit. That's not true. You can just go there and apply, and you don't have to opt into all the extras. You can if you want to, but just know that it's not mandatory in order to build business credit. Now, the next step is going to be, you want to make sure that you are getting some, accounts reporting to your business credit. And you're probably wondering, well, if I have no business credit, if I'm brand new, how can I get approved for anything? So you'll start looking for Net 30 accounts. Net 30 accounts are basically accounts with different vendors or stores that are going to allow you to purchase an item, and they will give you 30 days in order to pay them back. That is going to start building up your business credit. So there are some companies like Uline or Granger that you can go to, and you can purchase some office supplies, paper towels, things like that. They typically have like office supplies type stuff. But you can go there and you can make a purchase and make sure it's at least $50, and they can bill you 30 days out. You want to make sure that you pay it, of course, on time, but not too early. Sometimes people want to pay that invoice right away because they hate showing that they owe anything. But you actually want to wait a little bit and wait till it's almost due so that it can, go through the billing cycle and actually report to your business credit and start building that up for you. Another really good resource for if you're just starting out with building your business credit is going to be nav.com. Nav.com is a place where you can not only monitor your business credit reports, but you can actually have them report your monthly payments to your business credit. So it is a great way to start building business credit very fast. Once you have some lines reporting there, then you'll move up to the next tier of business credit, which are going to be retail cards. So you'll be able to get approved for stores like Home Depot or Lowe's or Office Max, utilizing just your business credit. This is not usually using your personal credit at all. This is utilizing just your business credit and your EIN and your DUNS number. And then once you start using some lines from places like Home Depot, Office Max, you will move up to the next tier. You can get some gas cards like with Shell or with Exxon to start building up that business credit. And then you'll be able to go to a bank called Ally Bank. They are actually a bank that will finance a vehicle for you in your business name without utilizing your personal credit, which is great. So that route takes a little bit longer, but if you are someone who does not want to use your personal credit, or maybe your personal credit is a little bit more challenged and it's taking a little bit longer to get to where it needs to be able to co-sign for your business, you can always go that route as well. If you are someone who is a little bit more credit challenged and you want to be able to actually use your personal credit to help back your business so that you can get a vehicle or a piece of equipment a little bit faster, because the business credit process can take 6 to 12 months if you're brand new. You can always start working on repairing and building positive personal credit. So a really good resource for personal credit is yourfreedisputes.com. They are a website where they will actually help you mail off your disputes if you have something that you don't recognize or something fraudulent on your business credit report. And then you also want to start, of course, building positive personal credit. So there are websites like self.com where you can it's almost like a self-lender. So you'll basically will be paying a loan, and at the end of the loan, they give you your money back, but they build up positive payment history on your personal credit. So those are just some ways that
Hmm.
you can start building up your personal credit or doing things like paying down maybe some of your credit card debt to get your score up there. I know that, most places want to see you at least at like a 650 or 680 typically to get some decent terms to be able to be a personal guarantor or to co-sign for your business. But those are the two routes or the two options, I should say, that you have in order to lease or finance something in your business name. But it's a process, but there are a lot of benefits to doing so. And that is why in my course, how to lease or finance a vehicle or equipment in your business name, I have not only a CPA who comes and talks about the tax side and how, what you can and cannot do legally, what to look out for, but I also have a very experienced car salesman to tell you the ins and out and, some of those dealership secrets that when you walk into a dealership, they're not going to tell you. He also breaks down, really the difference between leasing and financing so that you can know which one is best for your business, because they are very different. And sometimes leasing may not be for you. Sometimes financing may not be the best option, but it's good to know exactly which one fits your scenario. And so we have those two experts on the course who are talking about that. And of course, I also speak as well in teaching a little bit more and diving deeper into how to build business credit for those who are not wanting to utilize their personal credit. So that is available. I know that we have a limited time discount on the course available right now. I know it's pinned in the YouTube comments if you all are interested in learning more about how to actually go through the process of getting a vehicle or equipment using your business name. I definitely recommend checking that out while it's available.
Yeah, thank you so much. With respect to that, as you said, and I as well am not a CPA. So, everyone watching, don't take anything I say as if I am. But uh, I had a couple questions if I can ask you, because already
Yeah.
it's getting my head spinning. Where it's I imagine just by going through this process, even if it's just for a vehicle, you're also putting yourself in just a better position for your business credit in general, should you want a loan or anything in the future, right? That credit transfers to other things aside from a vehicle or equipment in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Building a business credit opens up a world of opportunity of getting funding for your business, whether it's through, different types of revolving credit lines or business loans. Even when you're going for an SBA loan, they will look at your Dun& and Bradstreet report. So just building up your business credit has so many benefits outside of just getting a vehicle.
And the other thing is this generally applicable? Yes, you need a business license, but does this work for if you're like in single person LLC or a sole prop, or is it just for like bigger companies or partnerships as far as how many people are in the company?
No, so you can definitely be a single member LLC and apply all of this. Now, as a sole proprietor, you're not able to build business credit because there is no business entity technically. But if you are a single member LLC, then you can absolutely build business credit and put anything under your LLC name.
That's so cool. And
Mhm.
there was one other thing, because I was always under the impression that more you needed to like get credit cards basically to build credit, but some of the things you mentioned about like buying office supplies and stuff and paying later, that's not really getting a credit card, right? You have a line of credit, but it's not the same system, is that right?
Right. So when you get a line of credit through like a Net 30 account, it'll be just with that store. So it'll be credit that you can use only there, right? Typically within credit cards, it's a card that you can use anywhere. You have to start out small because not many banks or stores or places will want to give anyone credit or business credit if there's nothing to show that you can pay this back. So starting out small with those store lines of credit is really going to help build up some credibility under your name. So then once you go and try to apply for another credit card that you can use anywhere, like a Visa or a MasterCard or an Amex, they will have something to go off of.
That's so awesome. All right.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's killer. That makes it all seem so much more approachable. And I mean, I know from my own experience and just family members, other fellow business owners and stuff, it can already be a scary venture to build your own personal credit. And then when you have that, and then you're going to do a business, you're like, oh my God, I need to do this again.
right.
So I appreciate the way you laid it all out. It's short, it's sweet, it makes sense, and it gives some very actionable ways to do that. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, and for everyone watching, also, if you're just watching the replay, feel free to ask questions. Are there? There is the course, which, just to repeat for everyone watching, the link is available in the YouTube comments. It's also in the YouTube description, and will be emailed to you with the replay. And then, Sarah, is there a place where people can reach out to you, or a good resource otherwise if they have any questions just getting started in this? I know it can be scary to start like playing with money and credit with your business. So is there a good resource where they can poke around before they make those leaps?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, I have some videos on my YouTube channel diving deeper into business credit. Things that the banks don't want to tell you about business credit and business
Sure.
funding. So if you look up Sierra Nicole TV on YouTube, you will find tons of resources to kind of get your feet wet a little bit and start doing some research about the process.
And then the course itself, really, you were saying, walks you through all of the
Mhm.
details, a little more hand holding through the entire process, right?
Yes, yep. So you'll learn about, diving deep into the tax laws so that what you can and cannot do legally. We'll be diving deep into what to do when you get to the dealership. Is this actually a good deal? What to look for? Should you lease? Should you finance? And then, of course, we're diving deep into the business credit as well.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate so much when someone can just come in and just punch it out exactly what you need to know, and
Oh,
that's how you get started with it. For everyone watching, if you like information like this, if this is helpful, please hop in the comments. Let us know something you learned. Feel free to reach out to Nicole or Discover if you have any questions, and like and subscribe to the Discover channel. We're trying to bring creators like Sierra out here more and more to share and grow this community of business owners and entrepreneurs. Before we wrap up, Sierra, or if you had anything else you want to throw out, I always like to ask, is there any last little parting advice you have for people on this road? I know the process of building business credit can be a little scary at first. So, like maybe less in like the practical what to do, but a little more in like the mindset, or how to build a little more like of a state of armor around yourself as you tackle these hard questions for people getting started on that journey.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I would tell any business owner, and it's something that I hear a lot, is that a lot of people fear debt, right? They fear, I don't want to lease, I don't want to finance, I don't want to get a loan or credit card for my business because I'm afraid that, well, what if I can't pay it back? And one thing that I want to just kind of put in your mind and let you think about a little bit is that, there is a difference between good and bad debt, right? Bad
Hmm.
debt is going to be when you go and get a credit card and, go to Dillard's and go buy all these clothes, just so that you can have them, but it's not making you any money. Any debt that you take out for your business is to make more profit, right? Is to bring in more revenue so that you can make money. That is going to be considered good debt, right? It can be an asset to you if you use it properly. You just have to be responsible, right,
Hmm.
with, your debts and the things that you owe, but you want to look at it as an asset, because it's something that's going to give you a resource to grow your business, to bring in more income, or to have more money for marketing, or to have that vehicle that you need to go and meet clients or make deliveries. So look at it as an asset and just be responsible, and don't be afraid of that, because one thing about being an entrepreneur is that you have to take some risks in order to go to the next level. So don't be afraid to take those risks, and just believe in yourself and know that everything's going to work out.
I love, well, and also sadly, it's impossible to build credit without at some point
Right.
building a little debt. I appreciate that so much. Yeah. And and just having the confidence. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Sierra, for popping in and sharing that valuable knowledge with us. Was there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap up, or that was sweet and to the point?
Yeah, and I really appreciate you, Jonah, for the time, and
Yeah.
Discover and Teachable for bringing me on to be able to share this. I love teaching. I love giving information and helping entrepreneurs and business owners really discover, the benefits of the position that they are in. So we have to use it to our maximum advantage. And, just getting a vehicle or equipment in our business name is just one of the ways. There's so many ways, but it's just one way that we can leverage our position as business owners and use it to our maximum advantage. So I appreciate you guys for bringing me on to be able to share this value.
Of course. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, everyone else, for joining us. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you all soon.
Sounds
Thank you,
great.
Sierra.
Thank you.